Hello from Vetiver Grouse King SABAH International. Today is the 4th of March 2023. So we want to just show you how we achieve amazing miracle quality and through vermi-biotechnology, all with the power of the Vetiver leaflet. This is a fresh leaf cuttings I just did, and this is what it turns into: high-grade organic worm casting fertilizer. This is the soil of that's manufactured inside the biogut of the beautiful red composting worm. Now I'm going to show you in this video that this is one of our distribution and packing centers, and all the sweepings from the floor we just put into these bins, and we rotate our bins and put them in larger bins as we fill up. But I want to show you how just even the sweepings, even though it is basically Vetiver leaf, pure Vetiver leaf, and we feed these beautiful red composting worms with some food scraps, right? All types of food scraps. Now, you can just see here, the leaf, this is the Vetiver leaf, the high protein, the highest protein you can ever get in any plant, because of the deep roots, the roots which run into, this is food scraps from the table. You can see that powdery stuff there. This is the red composting worm. I see the Vetiver supermorph. And you can see here, sometimes we're quite slack. That's a real genuine piece of, it's a bamboo cutter even. That shouldn't be in the bin. I didn't do this, but you can just see here that this is just like we treat this as a standard composting system. But look, with worms, and if you got the surface area so they can breathe, okay, you can see them here, if they can breathe, you can break all the traditional advice when it comes to not putting in citrus and meat, fresh meat. I'll just open up another one. See, worms, later on I'm going to give you some very powerful tips. Because I want you to watch to the end of this video, because you can see here even we've got scraps of our research and development with FFB, full fruit bunch. That's the palm oil seed from EFB. Now this mulch here is just breaking down. So you can still see that there's worms through it. Okay, like I said, these are not designed to have videos on, but I just love to show you that by us throwing our grease trap oil, go back to here again, our grease trap oil from our kitchen, and because this takes a long time to break down, the power of the nitrogen, which is protein, and it takes several months even. Unlike other grasses or mulch, I've never had anything better than this. Now we swing back over here again, just to reveal that what you see then, well, this is the fresh Vetiver leaf, okay, the Vetiver bamboo grass, the fastest growing, highest protein, the most valuable agriculture miracle supergrass in the world, and this is what the worms can turn it into. This is through biotechnology with vermi technology, okay? So here is just the cluster. Look, all these are going to be bagged today for one particular order. Okay, and see this cluster here, this got cut from one of our farms, one of our plantations, and you can see that it was on a slope, and the terracing, see, we just sliced, left a couple of inches of these powerful roots here. And have a look at the quality and the maturity of the bamboo shoots, which I've done so many videos in. Now, I want to throw this on the ground here and see what's in this bin. I don't know myself even. Okay, have a look at this. Due to the red composting worm, they say they can eat more than double their body weight in 24 hours. Now here is the new piece I put in last video. It's breaking down now. I've got to find out how many look at that. It's just such a beautiful sight. But remember the other two videos I've done with the sweeping of the floor? This is the new, and look, the new cut, just like I did earlier, to show you today's update. So this is the progress, and you can see the fertilizer. You can see that used to be that handful there. Look how many worms. When you've got this number of worms, it really transforms all your food scraps, everything, because worms don't just eat citrus and raw meat. It's the microbes breaking down the organic material, right? And then the worms eat microbes. So the worms are only eating a percentage. Now, subject to what you feed them, it could be 10, 20, 30% of what the food waste, the organic material is. Like I said, we have fed worms purely citrus, non-stop. All the things that people say you don't put in. Well, when you've got the right number of worms and the right approach. Now, look, we are doing a massive series on vermibiotechnology. I've seen what else is online. I believe we got something to really contribute towards information, free information, powerful intellectual property for us, which we're due to YouTube. That's why we really would love you to subscribe. Actually, you know, I say many videos, we've got the same mother. It's called Mother Earth. Okay, there's nothing better than keeping our mother happy. You can see here. And look at the liquid, look how much volume of water we got. Like I said, these are just scrap bins. We know that they're a valuable money-making, transforming waste into wealth bins, right? But they're literally scrap bins due to the number of worms, and we don't have to feed them. We don't have to feed them food waste, okay? Because we've got food in this premises. We don't have to. They'll just eat the pure vetiver and live and thrive. They won't be as prolific and fat, but they're still healthy. They can live on pure 100% vetiver leaf waste. So here we go in the closing of the video, turning this, as you can see, from the organic leaf, the beautiful breaking down. That's the processing of the leaf here. That's still green, but you could go down to that black. And then the final phase, okay? Now, how long does it take? It's subject to how many worms you got. This is the success of this. Now, look, I said I'll give you a tip at the end of this video. There's nothing better than quality. You know, this is such a super high-grade worm cast. It's worm poo. And they are what they eat. So because vetiver leaf is such a high protein, and not only vetiver leaf, the bamboo cuttings, the roots, all the leftover of the roots we throw in. So the worms turn that high nutrition. It's got all the minerals, the elements, and our food waste. And we always put our grease trap oil, all the fresh chicken, rotten chicken, all the meats that don't get eaten. We put all the nasties in there because when you got worms, they're odorless. There's no smell problem. Okay? And once again, the microbes do all the work. This is the biggest tip. The worms only eat the small percentage. Even you might say watermelon. They might eat a lot more percentage, but it's the microbes that break that down. And when the time's right, the worms are so clever. They're a bioengineer, a complete bioengineer, which they will adjust their population and eat what they want to eat, but you've got to give them variety. So this is a real key. But the bedding, okay, this is the big tip from I'm one of the senior consultants. I am a master vermiculturist. So what I'm getting at is the mulch acts as an insulation, and they travel and move around. Any other mulch, as soon as you got compaction, then what happens is the worms slow down in their movement. They slow down in their movement. Okay, by slowing down in their movement means they're not breeding as much. So people can put all forms of mulch and topping, all forms, but you cannot. There is nothing. I've got 38 years full-time experience with worms, and the biggest tip I can share with the world. Okay, and we're going to reveal and do so many more videos, but as soon as you start using the mulch in a vermibiotechnology, in a worm composting bin system, okay, we call this Vetiver Technology Solutions. This is a brand that we've got because it is one of the keys to composting. A lot of people struggle because of the heat fluctuations. When it comes to worms. They're a very vulnerable small animal that needs, can't be too hot, can't be too cold. They can endure the most hottest weather anywhere in the world and the most coldest weather. It's all to do with your understanding about creating the right environment. We have grown worms in every extreme, from the hottest, which I heard of no one succeeding, and we've had it in the snow, and we've completely boomed just like that. Why? It's using the thermo-composting heat of breaking down organic material and having surface area management skills, and there's no harm of saying, you know, the years of experience can achieve massive things. Okay, once again, thank you from Vetiver, Grass King SABAH. Please subscribe. We thank you. Mother Earth will be so pleased with you, just like she loves Vetiver Grass King SABAH International. Thank you once again.